Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm Nick,
And I'm Mom. How are you doing?
and welcome back to Bonus Round, our 8-hour charity fundraising live stream. You can see over there we're raising money for the Alzheimer's Foundation, but instead of just talking about it in a little window, let's go to the donation zone. Audio clipping.
I love the donation zone.
Hey, look at that. So this is not the full list of donations. What was it? Before we started, I threw in $10.
Jensen threw in
Jansen threw in 20.
$10.
You threw in 50, and we were at 80. And looking at this here now, we got a donation from Rue for $20.69.
Yay!
Nice.
Thank you, Rue.
Which brings us to, I can't read the numbers. Now I can see the numbers. We're at $100.69. Nice,
Yes.
nice.
Thank you.
All so much. I suppose it's we're in the donation zone, so we were talking about a little bit why we chose to do this particular foundation. You want to give the rundown again?
Yes, we chose the Alzheimer's Association simply because I've had some personal experience. Well, not me personally, but close people close to me suffer from it. I have a friend now who's suffering from short-term dementia, which is terrible because she won't remember if I go visit her. It's just very sad. Her timing is all off. She doesn't remember things. My aunt suffered from it, and I know people who've had parents who suffer from it. It can be, for the patient, it can be very frightening because you wake up and you don't remember where you are, even if it's in your home where you lived for years and years. You don't remember people. So, and as I get older, this is something you have to think about. So, we call them senior moments, but the Alzheimer's Association will, they work towards trying to determine early detection and how to prevent it. And they have, if you go to their website, it's wonderful. They have call centers you can call 24/7. They have resources. They have local chapters in your area. You just have to go there and see if there's one in your area, if you know someone who's suffering from it. Even if you know someone who's suffering from it, it's good for you to have a handle on it, because it helps you to help them, because you can't argue with them because you're not going to win, and you kind of have to play along with it to a certain extent, So yeah, so that's why we chose this, simply because I have a dear close friend who's suffering from it now. So
Yes.
so that's why we're here today. So thank you. If you can donate, please do. If you know someone who's suffering, check out their website. They'll give you lots of information. And yeah, so.
And as always, if you are personally not in a position where you can donate right now, please don't feel bad. Money has been tight
For everybody, yeah.
since Reagan.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I don't know.
That's my
don't
understanding.
know.
I don't remember I wasn't alive during Reagan, was I? Who was before Clinton?
That's not my
All right,
strong
don't worry
suit.
about it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't still help.
Yeah.
Again, tell people about what we're doing here today. Even just saying, hey, these folks are doing this. Here's the link so you can see what they were doing.
Yeah.
Even after the fact, I think I can close submissions for donations on these, but I don't, because why take away opportunities to give money? So if you look, that little node on our progress bar up there, that is at $204. That is what we managed to raise last year doing this, when we were raising for the Transgender Law Center.
Yeah.
So different foundations, but it's kind of getting fuzzy. Fuzzy doesn't help me. Like crackly, like echoey, like nothing. Probably. I'll put it down in a second. Any money raised is a good amount of money. That's just some sort of check mark for us to work for if we don't make it to $300. But again, any amount we raise, we're here. We're trying to do any good. We've already over $100, so nothing wrong with that. If we raise $100 and have a good time here today, that's fantastic. Speaking of having a good time, so again, this page, we'll come back to this a couple more times while we're here. Any other donations that'll come in, hopefully this will work. This is new technology. I've had a donation zone before, but not with the Tiltify overlays. So hopefully this will keep track of where we're at. And when we're not looking at that, we'll be over here. So I'm going to set up what we're about to play. Can you... Yeah, can you, Ooh, is that better?
What happened is, Nick and I went to see the new Super Mario Brothers movie that came out, and I thought it was fun, and I even I caught all the references to early video games, you know, and I do like the Super Mario Brothers live version of it with
Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo.
It's very with the Goombas and the slime and Big Bertha. It's all very good. One of my favorite movies. Right? And so we went to see the new one that's out. It's animation, of course, and I thought it was good. But Nick informed me because and a lot of characters are in it from various games. One of them is Donkey Kong, and Nick informed me at that time that Donkey Kong was even before Mario Brothers. So I said, oh, I didn't realize that. So Donkey Kong is kind of where it all started. So I said, oh, we should do something on that. So I think today you're going to play a couple of games at least. Like you were going to do the original and then a couple of newer versions. Is that correct, Nicholas?
Yeah, I've sort of put together a little collection of, how you say, I've said that this is like a little history of Donkey Kong, very broadly speaking. So I am starting us, and I have almost got this on the screen. I just need to hit this one, and hopefully that will show just what I want. Hopefully, come on, buddy boy. Uh-oh, what I hit? I want it to be. I'm guessing the problem is. Oh wait, there it goes. Hey, perfect. Yeah, let's go over to Donkey Kong.
Oh.
Hey, how do you like? How do you feel about Donkey Kong?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah. What do you know about Donkey Kong?
Just that it's a monkey, and he throws barrels. That's pretty much all. And in the movie, he's pretty cocky young ape.
Played by oh, what's that fool's name? Todd Pineapple. Jonah Hill? That's not the one. Mic is off. Why is your mic off? Did you? Your mic shouldn't be off. Talk again.
Hello.
Oh, why did that go down? Tell me that battery died.
Wait.
Red light's normal. This battery might have died. Can you grab me a battery from the charger upstairs? Behind the TV in the living room? Thank you. That's alright, I can talk for a little bit.
There you go. So yeah, so what I know about Donkey Kong is I remember this
you don't have a mic right now. Is what I just took away.
Well, I can still talk.
Yeah, that wouldn't stop you. No, that just means I gotta take a quick turn to talk. Was it Donkey Kong original? What we're looking at here on the screen right now is before my time. This was arcade Donkey Kong. I have a distaste for Donkey Kong, and I'll tell you specifically why. When y'all got me an SNES for Christmas, you've heard this story before.
Yes, I have. I did not know this until just recently. Oh, I should open the window. I'll get to it in a minute. Oh no, that's
That is how I wanted it. The instead of coming with the pack-in of Super Mario World, which I think to date is still one of the best video games ever made, like at least top 5, if not top 3, it came with Donkey Kong Country, which I have lined up for us to look at today, but even being nice about it, I don't think it's a good game. What? Did this whole thing die? You sure that's on? That's on. Oh, this has got to be out. I mean, don't hit that. Here, say something. No, why not? It works okay over here, but that's not plugged in. I wish I had better. Break somehow? Light comes on. It should. Yes. But over here, it's fine. Literally, as soon as I come over here. Move that over. Can you move that over to here? Oh. It's okay over here. Oh, wait, that almost seems like it. No, I'm gonna hang that there. Move the box around until you find a place where the light lights up. Yeah, that's there. And when the light's on, you get heard. No, hold on. Whoa, that is so much data coming. Did this battery start dying? Maybe this battery started to die. Hey, you want to take my seat and talk into the microphone and try playing some Donkey Kong while I go acquire a fix?
Yeah, sure.
No, you don't gotta unhook anything. Just come over here and use this microphone and play. This is the start button.
Which one? Which you start?
That's the start button, and the rest.
All right. Oh, so he's putting me in the hot seat. Okay. All right. So, thank goodness nobody's listening. Anyway, except Joe. All right. Joe knows me. Uh-oh. Okay. So, I have to play so first of all, look at the joystick I'm using. It's from an old cigar box, believe it or not. Can you see that? Look at that. Just put together an old cigar box. You see that? Look at that. Look at that. It's amazing, isn't it? All right. So let's see if I can. I don't even know how to do this. Let's start. There we go. Okay. I don't hear it.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, I died. Did I die?
It hasn't started yet.
Oh, it hasn't started yet. How do I? Okay. Yes.
Now you died.
Now I died. Okay. So what am I doing? How do what are my buttons for? How do I jump?
One of the buttons. I don't
good at this, but that's okay because I have fun. Nick's very good at being patient with me. Okay, let's see. Here we go. All right, let's see if I can do that again. Just like with the board games, I get better after each and every try. So, all right, let's see. No Donkey Kong. This is the Donkey Kong I remember. I know it's gotten so much better. Obviously, this is copyrighted 1981. It said. Again, this is something I have to focus on, so bear with me, folks.
Time you get a game over, we'll call back.
Okay, that'll be just a few minutes from here. Just a few minutes. Just give us time. I got higher than the last time.
Uh-huh. How high can you get?
This
Think
is
the candy asking.
this is so much fun, actually.
It's simple.
It is. It is. Yeah, really. Oh. There you go. That's it. 3 lives.
Turn my mic back on. Back on. Shows off. Hey folks, thanks for hanging in there. We should sound good now. I need to bring game volume way down. Here, play again. This time I can talk and answer questions while you're playing.
Oh.
Yeah, the chord is long enough. You can't get away from it. Yeah. You want like a board to rest it on?
No, I'm good. So finish telling your story about Donkey Kong
My story about Donkey Kong.
and why you don't like it.
Super Mario World is one of the best games ever made, even by today's standards. And instead of getting that game, they were like, some little kids out there are going to get Donkey Kong Country, which I just kind of think is garbage. And that put a distaste for like all Donkey Kong related things in my mind, because it is not as good as a Mario game. Pretty much any iteration of Mario, I would take over any iteration of Donkey Kong. And that's like talking from, back in the day, I would rather play Mario 1 over this, and talking even like modern stuff, I would rather play like Mario Galaxy over Tropical Freeze, But one more. 2 more? 1 more. But yeah, this is kind of where Donkey Kong started. This is... I think Mario's called Mario at this point. You're not rescuing Peach, you're rescuing Pauline, who went on to have a very successful mayoral campaign. This is why sometimes Mario has a hammer. I forget if he was Jumpman at this point.
Let's talk about that box.
We'll talk about it in between games.
Okay.
Yeah, ask me questions. I can talk and play.
So, you told me that this was the predated Mario, which I thought was fascinating because I did not know that. So now Mario in this game, he is just
it's just a guy
breaking up the barrels, right?
So basically, like, he is trying to rescue Pauline there at the top.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The barrels are just the obstacle on the way there. Come on, give me a gap, give me a gap, give me a gap. Fire. This game is hard, by the way. Like, so the thing is, barrels will sometimes take the ladders. So you can't just trust that a ladder will be open to get through you, but you also can't jump up at the end. You have to take ladders. So like there, you kind of want to wait past the ladder, because then if it takes the ladder, it won't hit you, and then hit, yeah, 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 acha, and there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yay!
I practiced this when I was setting things up for this stream, so.
Oh, okay. I did not practice this, just so we all know. I did not. This is one game we didn't practice. We practiced some of the newer ones, I think.
So I kind of wanted to ask, because like I think this is like more of your era. Like this is
Absolutely.
this was actually in, you know, arcades
yeah,
and around.
Bars as we were hanging out. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like, do you have memories of this game? Oh, I am in trouble.
Not really playing it. I was not a big video gamer. Still not really.
Yeah.
You know?
Wasn't of the gaming generation. Oh, I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
I'm in
but
trouble.
but I do remember seeing it in arcades and seeing the like the opening screen and seeing some of these. Some of these are very familiar.
Can I hit fire with a hammer? Yes, I can for some reason. I guess that's Pac-Man rules. Oh, I'm doomed. I'm doomed. Hit him, hit him. Yes. I'm not doomed. I'm golden. There you go. So you take out all the rivets and the floors collapse and Donkey Kong is defeated. And then the game loops. Oh, hey, I got an extra life. But now on the loop, it is harder,
Faster.
longer, something
Oh,
like that.
that follows you, yeah.
Yeah, that one was mean. Here. Oh, bad move. Played that wrong. Yeah, this game is simplistic though. So like, now that we're in the second round, there's actually going to be more levels in between. It is not just these two screens over and over. There's going to be other stuff going on. I don't really know much beyond these two screens. This is, you know, as much as the game as I've ever played, really.
Yeah. But sometimes this is all you need, you know? I mean.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Yeah. I mean, wow.
Yeah, it ain't easy. Like, so much of it feels random.
You know, what amazes me is when I always see the progression of games. Like, from this that's so simple, and this in its day, 1981, this was high tech, you know?
Yeah.
Now, as we go along, even what's the next game we're going to be playing?
Donkey Kong Jr.
And that was for when? What year? Do you know?
After this.
After this.
I'm not a historian. I'm just a goofus
Okay.
who plays the video games. Let's go one more.
But say even 5 years after, you're going to see so much improvement in the graphics and in the play.
1992 for Donkey. 92, really?
Oh, that's almost 11 years.
82.
82.
I can't read.
Okay. Oh, so that's just a year after. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, these were, you know, out there to make money. You got to have the newest one on shelves.
But I mean, back in the day, you get a quarter. You get your quarter's worth, you know.
Yeah. And like that, like even with the games that like, whoa.
Oh, that was close. Yeah. I mean, I gotta tell you, it was cool. I think when we were out and when I was out in San Diego last summer, and we went to that place that had all the arcade games. I think this might have been what. Oh, definitely know I played Pac-Man. I don't know if they had this one or not, but you know, Pac-Man is one that I like. I did play that one a couple times.
I remember Pac-Man was one of the games in the church basement that had the kids like daycare group. Can I walk through? Cannot walk through Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong kills me if you touch him. Okay.
Oh, those yellow things are the rivets?
Yes. So we're kind of pulling them all out to collapse the floors. What do you think you're doing, Fireball? Ah! Yeah. Let's go this way. We gotta come back down. Gotta jump over the holes that we've left now. I don't know how you hire Fire to be your lackey, but
This monkey has figured it out. Sorry, he's a gorilla. I apologize, he is a gorilla. I apologize that he is a gorilla. Come on. I think that's a hat. I think these are like stuff that Pauline has dropped. Oh! Should've jumped.
So close.
Then of DK1, like there's not much else to show really.
Yeah. No, that's
Oh,
fine.
wait, I have a life. No, I don't. I'm playing Donkey Kong. Hang on.
All right. So once this life is over, then we'll move on because you have like 5 years of stuff, right? 5 different versions.
Yeah, I have a handful. Because like I said, Donkey Kong Jr. was the sequel to this one. And then, oh, I didn't make it. There was another sequel. Let's see here. I'll throw us back to chat for a moment as I load up the next one. Let's see here. Yeah, let's move on to Junior. This one. Good. That loads much faster. Good. Unless it won't load at all. That's cool. I had these all working, I promise. Oh, is it nap time yet? Can we go nap time?
Definitely.
Donkey Kong Jr. Do it. There we go.
Very similar in style.
Oh yeah.
This is only a year after you said 1982.
Yes. That's what producer Joe has told me.
There you go. Look at this.
Game. Yes.
Oh, who do you have a sidekick here? Who's that little guy down?
So that's Donkey Kong Jr. So,
okay.
Hey, game, load. There we go. So as you can see, what's happening here is so the canonical ending to Donkey Kong is that Mario wins. And here he has captured Donkey Kong, and you play as Donkey Kong Jr., and you have to rescue your father.
Okay.
Here, you play first.
Oh.
I know even less about this game than I do about the previous one. Did it start muted again? What? Why is it starting muted? That's weird. I have no idea about this game. Like, I know basically that plot premise and nothing else. Oh. Nope.
What did I hit?
You fell too far. This game has fall damage. Like, I don't even necessarily know how to win. See, and that's the thing. I don't know if, like there's this weird thing where, like, if I was born in the era where these were the arcade games out there, I don't know if I would be a gamer. You know?
Oh, interesting.
Because, like, I don't necessarily think these are fun. I think they are definitely, like, novelties, and in terms of, like, tech, it is interesting that these exist.
Yeah.
But, like, these aren't games I necessarily have fun with. Like, there was, you know, when I was growing up, I had a hand-me-down, Intellivision.
Yeah.
And the only reason that I would, like, keep playing that is because we had, like, you know, 3 dozen, you know, games for it. If I only had, like, 1 or 2 games for it, I probably would not, you know, I would just put it down. But the only thing kept it going for me was the fact I was able to cycle through stuff. You can jump at an angle, I believe. Woo! There's a lot. There's a lot more going on in this one, but it's the same kind of thing. It's about, like, trying to get vertical, dodging things coming down on you.
I should be able. Oh, I should be able to hit that, but I can't. These things, the vines don't swing, do they?
No, and I don't think you can, like, jump off of vines. Here, let me get that a try.
Go ahead, give it a try.
This one, I don't think I got past this first screen when I was testing this one. Yeah. Spooky music. Is that like a funeral dirge?
Yeah.
Somebody knows exactly what piece of music that is. Okay, so we're here. So we can't just go up. We can jump up, right?
Yeah, that one I did.
And he's going to do that. That one goes there.
Or whatever they are.
Whoa, okay. So we want to go here.
Now you
And
can't
then-
fall too far. See, I tried to jump over
Oh,
there.
can we not? Oh, we can't go down there either.
In theory, it seems like you should be able to jump over to that other one.
Yeah. Let's go up here. Right. I want that guy to go down. Get away from my feet.
Oh, how'd you make them do double-handed?
I just moved in between. Here. Now that we're here. Now.
There you
Okay.
go.
But then we can't jump off to that one. So we
Yeah,
have to
but
go
then
down
on
here.
that- Okay, now you should be able to jump those.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we
That
can
one.
do
There you
this. Kind of. Ah, there we go. Nope, you can't go up it. You have to come up here. Ah. No, he can't. No, he can?
Well, there you go.
Okay. But
Uh-oh.
now he's going to come, but he doesn't go up. Oh!
Ah!
Oh! That's the closest I've ever gotten.
Yep.
All right. I can do this. I don't know if I can do this.
It's challenging, to say
Yeah.
the least.
And, like, that's the thing. Like, it's definitely challenging. I don't know if I'm having fun with this. Like, there are some games that I like.
mean, in an age when these were just beginning, I mean, I could see where people could get addicted to this.
And, like,
know, I mean,
enjoying
it's
a game because
repetitive.
it is a challenge is, you know, a legit reason to enjoy games.
Yeah.
Go down. All right, come on.
Get
Come
that
on.
Key, get that key.
Okay.
What are those little things? Scissors or robots? Or what
I
are those?
think they're like bitey robots. Oh my goodness. Ah! Oh! I want to see the second screen. Give me one more try. I want to see a second screen.
Go ahead.
Because I figure we did roll over a bit on the first segment, so if we want to end this a little early. Oh, that reminds me, when we break from this segment, we'll probably go get dinner.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, Donkey Kong Jr., you don't really see him in the canon anymore, you know what I mean? Like, he was not in the movie.
No, he wasn't. I forgot all about Junior, yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Actually, in the movie, isn't he the Junior?
So,
No.
that's what I'm trying to
He's
remember.
Donkey Kong,
No, he might be.
but a grown-up version of him? Because the
Yeah.
his father's the older monkey, so maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, Cranky Kong, I think, is
Cranky
the... So that's the thing. I think Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong from, you know, Donkey Kong 1. I hate that I have to just wait here. This sucks. You know, maybe I can make that top one. Oh, you can! Oh, jeez. But then you gotta go down. Okay. Now we can go here. Now we have to go across here.
Right.
Luckily, he won't go. Let me hang out here. Nope. Okay. Oh! And get the key. Yes! Okay! We did it!
Yay!
And then he just runs off. Oh my
ooh.
gosh. What is this about? Oh, I gotta push all of these keys up to the locks?
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
There's birds? Oh, and I can kill them by dropping apples? Okay.
And they can kill you. Okay.
But, like, this is a challenge. And they're kind of interesting challenges. But it's almost like we were saying about the game before. Like, just because the challenge is interesting doesn't mean it's, like, fun to work on overcoming it. I was going as fast as I could. There was nothing I could do about that.
Yeah.
And that's it. So, but that's Donkey Kong 2. So, like, they kept sort of the, like, general structure of it.
Mhm.
It's just you're rescuing Donkey Kong and this time.
All right. So then, what came next? Those are the ones I remember. Which, again, like I said, given the time that they were out, that was high tech, and that was that was when you're standing in the arcade with your quarters,
Or the bar.
or the bar with your quarters, and you're just playing away. And you want to get your name up in that score. You know that you want to get your name up on the first place.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is Donkey Kong 3.
Okay, pretty much the same.
No.
No.
This is so. You play this dude down here, who I believe is not Mario, and you got this bug sprayer, because these bugs are trying to steal your radishes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Still a Nintendo game. But we have to spray Donkey Kong to the top. Oh, right, you play first. You know.
No, you play. Let me see.
So it's kind of whoops, dead. Oh no.
Oh no, they just eat them.
Yup.
That's nasty.
But it's kind of got this like missile command element to it. So like he's pissing off all these bees, and then we're here and we can spray the bees. And then where's my jump button? Oh, up is jump.
This
Up is
looks
jump.
Like what's that one with the space rockets? Asteroids?
Yes. Galaga. You're probably thinking of Galaga?
The one where they go back and forth and all the spaceships come down?
That's Space Invaders.
Space Invaders, that's the one.
Yeah. In that lineage for sure. If we just get right up under here and just
the
keep
mechanics of it, the way he
Oh
goes
my
back
gosh.
and forth.
Yeah, but the weird jumping and
Yeah.
this game is weird.
This one is weird.
This is
I
so
don't even think I remember the graphics from this one.
yeah, it's technically it's a Donkey Kong game. You don't hear people talking about when you had to spray Donkey Kong to the top. Not because you just get up here because you have to go after Donkey Kong and then he drops this. Oh. And then you get the super spray and you can spray him up the rest of the way.
So, were there tutorials or instructions on any of this, or you just kind of had to figure it out?
You kind of just had to figure it out. A lot of times the demo screen would explain it. Here, if I actually like pay attention to what I'm doing, I can. Here we go. Right, so now we just get him all the way up there. Oh, come on, I got shot?
Oh, you got
Something
so close.
shot me?
You got so close.
Come on. And I already lost a radish. So there's this weird, you have to be up to actually hit him because you have limited range on your sprayer. Until you get the big sprayer. There you go. Now he's at the top, and he doesn't have his bees anymore, so he escapes. You know, Donkey Kong. What? And now we're over here, and it's kind of the same. But we have to, like,
One of those, like,
coconuts?
snouts?
Yeah, I think those are, like, worms on a line. But then, yeah, this time when you get him to the top, he falls down and he gets captured, and then it loops again, like in the original Donkey Kong. Let's look at this one more time. But yeah, I don't know if you, even if you didn't know Donkey Kong, but you saw that this was the game, would you play this?
When does Mario come out in relationship to the Donkey Kong games? Has he already out Mario by now?
Probably. That's a question for Joe. I'm not a historian. I don't remember dates.
Okay.
I never
So
remember
Joe,
dates.
if you're out there, find out when the first Mario game came out.
There you go. Okay, that's phase 1. September of 85.
Oh, okay. And when was this Donkey Kong?
Junior was 82, so I don't know when this one would have been. Here, come on, let's get up there. See, but this one we don't have any beats to
Well,
to
you haven't
protect.
gotten up there to knock them down yet.
I
He's trying to throw
guess.
things at them.
Not that. Then these guys get in the way, so we have to like time our shots.
You can't get any closer, right?
Nope. We gotta wait till they move away, and then shoot around them. Hey, there's a shot. Like it's interesting ideas, but it's just such like a weird conceit for a game. Like, what is the story here? Why is Donkey Kong throwing? I don't know if they're coconuts.
Beans?
Yeah, like.
They look like giant coffee beans.
And why are the bees on Donkey Kong's side? You know, what treaty did he sign?
Yeah, really.
There we go. Now we got our super spray again. So now we just blow through and get him all the way. There we go. Now he's attacked by bees. And we do our little... That's not Mario. I don't know who that Goofus is dancing, but no hat, no Mario. Do not trust this man. This is Donkey Kong 3. There we go. And then we just sort of start over. Oh, is this a bonus round?
But it's much faster now.
Uh-huh. And also, like, I don't have the super, so I can't finish getting him up there? Ow. I don't know what hit me. It's weird. It's weird is what it is.
You're right, it is. Okay.
There you go. There's spray. Get up there. Ah. It's okay. I don't want to play any more Donkey Kong 3.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So what do we got next?
Where do we go from here?
Donkey Kong Country?
I believe next is Donkey Kong Country because this was these were the 3 arcade games, and these also had reported to the original NES, so the first Nintendo home console. This is Donkey Kong 3, came out in arcades in 1983. Why is that so...
Wow, so a year apart, okay. And then Mario didn't come out until 85?
I'm just sticking off the side. I gotta fix it. There we go. The Donkey Kong Country for the SNES was in 94. Okay, so almost 11 years in between, I guess.
We're gonna hyper jump into
Donkey Kong Country. Do you see it on this list? No. Why would I play Donkey Kong Country? It's not a good game. See here. That would be in here. It's a SNES game. And it's... that's Donkey Kong Country. There we go. Okay. I'm going to get this going. So this is Welcome to the SNES. That's Cranky Kong. That's Donkey Kong's dad. You might remember him from the movie.
Yes, I do.
So I'm trying to... I don't actually know the, like, canonical lineage. But I think Cranky Kong might be Donkey Kong from the original game. And I think this DK might be Donkey Kong Jr.'s son.
Donkey Kong Jr.'s son?
Yeah, so the original Donkey Kong's grandson.
Oh.
I think. That's what I tell myself to sleep at night.
This keeps you up at night, huh?
Oh, so much. This is one of many things. So yeah, this is now no longer Donkey Kong based. This is a whole new thing. This is now... So, you remember, like I was saying, Super Mario World is one of the best video games ever made.
Right.
So this came on, you know, in the wake of that. When Nintendo was like, oh, we should make platformers. Apparently, we're good at that.
Platformers meaning?
Meaning like this. Side-scrolling, running. So, you know, it's a little...
Okay.
You know, running and jumping. Very, Mario traits of running and jumping. Okay. But yeah, now we're on like an adventure. And also, we have Diddy Kong. So Diddy Kong is not Donkey Kong Jr. He's just some kid.
Okay.
like, I think he might be.
See, I always think of him as Donkey Kong Jr. I don't know why.
He's not.
He's not, but that's what I think.
Well,
Okay.
because, you know, you look at this game, and there's a big one and there's a little one, and you
Yeah.
go, ah, yes. But I think he's like this Donkey Kong's nephew or something. He has a jetpack. Donkey Kong Jr. never had no jetpack. He's also got the ball cap, so, you know, again, this is now, we're in the 90s, so maybe it's just like, oh, we got to have one who's like, you know, the cool punk kid. He's got a baseball cap.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wearing it backwards, so he's not that cool. Ah. 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 Save point. Okay. More barrels.
And the idea is to spell out Kong at the top.
That's one of the ideas. There's a lot of ideas in this game, and a lot of them they're just kind of in there. So a thing that's sort of special about this game is you see the way that everything looks.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did with this game is they did 3D renderings of the background, because those were, like, you know, fancy at the time, of the background and the characters. But these are 2D sprites. So this is, you know, the engine underneath is working, you know, the same as it did before. It's just flat pictures. But they just made really fancy flat pictures. So this was, like, kind of amazing looking at the time, because it was just like, oh, the fidelity of 3D, but the speed and complexity of 2D. Wow. I don't like this game. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the way it looks. Oh my god. I don't know what I honestly don't know what, like, so this is the game that came with my SNES. So this is like the game, SNES game I've owned the longest.
The least.
No, there's some bad SNES games out there.
Are there? Like what? What would you consider bad?
Oh.
Oh, I stumped you, huh?
There's just so many to pick from, and
Oh,
there's
wow.
like so many metrics of bad. So let's say, like, there was an SNES game based on the television show Home Improvement.
Really?
Yeah, that's a pretty bad game.
Okay.
It looks okay. It doesn't feel good. It's not fair. It doesn't, like, do anything
Well, that was,
narratively.
Home Improvement was based on more of your physical comedy, you know?
Yeah.
Him getting hurt all the time. That would be hard. That would be hard to do in a video game, I would think.
Well, I mean, they just did weird things with it, right? So, like, oh, there are power tools going crazy, so you have to dodge out of control nail guns and buzzsaws and stuff. But it's a game kind of like this. It's side-scrolling. You're running around. Tim Allen is there. That's kind of the game, from what I recall. Not that I ever really played it, because why would you want to play it? It's bad. But, like, that's the thing. This was an era where, like, people figured out how to make games that had, like, a certain baseline of quality. Like, anything you play on the SNES, you can technically say is better than, like, anything you played on the NES, right?
So those ropes swing? No, right?
Not these. I believe these are swinging ropes.
Oh, okay.
Now we have Diddy back. There's one particular level in this game that I feel like we should get to. It's not that far in, but it's iconic. So we should try and get to that before we move on. Because I only have, like, one more game after this, I think.
Okay, well, almost 5:30, so we're good.
Yeah.
And like you said, you know, we have to take a break this earlier. That's okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if we just spend more time on Jackbox, who's going to complain? I like Jackbox. You want to talk about good games? Jackbox games are pretty good. See, like, you see how this is going? Like, oh, you got to dodge the bees on the swinging ropes, and like, that wasn't really that hard. It's
you maybe.
well, it's like Domino Rally, right?
Yeah.
Like, everything is set up so that, like, yes, you need to push the button at the right time, but it's actually very smooth, and it's like you hit the first one at the right time, everything is set up for the second one.
It's nothing random about these guys. You can actually time it, you know.
In this case, they are,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, they are preset to be kind of easy. Like they're hard at first because you don't know what's coming,
Right.
but like they are built so you can get into a groove with it and just
Even
sort of
the alligator guy there too.
But like, if you aren't in that exact groove, it feels like unfairly misaligned. It is just like, oh, this has suddenly become absolute dog shit, you know? But the weather clearing up and it going back to day, oh my god. Oh, okay, at least I have a checkpoint.
Now, do you have to follow the paths in a certain way, or can you choose? Could you have chosen a different path?
Oh my god. Stuff like that. He killed me from off screen. Oh, I'm trying to be not just go completely mean on this game. But it's so hard for me to see any of the nice points about it. No, so this game doesn't really have alternate paths. Like, it does a little bit, but, you know, this section, you're swinging the ropes. There's no
No,
other
but like from
section
when you
to it.
start, can you go a different way, or you have to follow?
No,
when
like,
they're back in the.
oh,
by the
on
huts.
the map
Yeah.
or whatever? No, there is the
A production,
a
procedure.
path, yeah.
Yeah, a path.
It is like one path. This is how you go. I forget. Can I pick him up? I forget.
So if Donkey Kong passes a danger point, like those bees, then the little guy follows him.
Yeah, so the little guy kind of doesn't exist. Like, he is just visual.
Okay.
Oh, there's totally a way to pick up Diddy. Oh, do I have to use a button that I actually don't have mapped? That's fine. I don't care about the G.
Oh, okay. I see the flowers. All right, you follow the flowers then. Right?
Yeah, the little pointer. All right, so now we go talk to Cranky. Sure beats a visit from Mrs. Kong. How can I help you? A crafty croctopus corners his crock of collectibles and coral capers. Look out for disguised holes on the ground and jump on them from a great height. I'd ask you in, but they didn't have any memory left to display the cabin interior. So he just kind of rants at you. You just go to him, like, kind of for hints.
Yeah,
But-
I was going to say that. It kind of gives you a little hints, like what to watch out for.
But also, like, okay, the one about, like, disguised holes, that one's kind of a good hint, but, like, again, everything kind of linear. We have nowhere else to go. Now we just go to the caves. Is this the one, or is it the next level?
Ooh,
Snakes.
spooky.
The sound is also pretty good. Oh,
Yeah.
these bouncy guys. Okay. So the thing that always gets me, and I've always considered like one of the signs of like good versus bad games of like this era, do you remember how I was saying like they did so much to, you know, make this look good?
Yeah,
Or to look as good as it does, good for the time, whatever.
right.
Part of that of saying that it looks so good is that these sprites are huge, right? Like everything is big and colorful
Yeah,
because you want it to be bigger so you can show more detail.
right.
You know, like on the front of the cereal bark, how it's enlarged to show detail,
Yeah.
just like that. But the thing about it is like
The tires is a good touch to bounce
Yeah.
on. I like that.
mathematically, that makes it a harder game. Because, like, okay, if something comes in from the right of the screen right here, right?
Yeah.
Depending on its speed, we only have from when it appears to when it reaches us to recognize it and dodge it, right? And even then, depending on our speed of jump or whatever, we might need to start dodging it so far before it reaches us to actually be able to avoid it. Then if we're moving towards it, that time is shorter, and so on and so forth. So the thing is, the bigger the sprites are, the smaller this gap in front of us is.
Okay.
So the bigger and nicer your sprites are, the less time you actually have to respond to things showing up on screen. So like
if something was coming over from the right there, right, and you had to jump over those beads, and you knew, so it's almost like they want you to try over and over again, because you die, right? Because there's not enough time. But then you know it, you can anticipate it, and you can, time you're jumping over the bead to either land on that guy, so that when you jump, you land on him, or something like that. Is that a strategy that could be used, or?
So, like, yes, this is classic of video games, right? Is that sometimes it's not a challenge of actually like dodging it, but the challenge is die to it and learn it. The actual skill that it asks of you is memorization, right?
Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Okay.
And like, so
of where it appears in the game and what's going to happen, or...
sequence of events, and when you need to jump, when you need to not jump, when you need to do whatever.
Interesting. Okay.
Like it's kind of interesting, but I don't know. It always seemed to me like a false sale of goods, right? It's like I'm jumping, I'm doing this. Like,
but don't you have to do that in today's games as well?
Yes, and no, and. All right, maybe we won't need another game. This is a conversation now. All right, listen. So you got to think about this starting from arcade games, right?
Yeah.
Arcade games love this. Well, okay, so there was like.
So like in the first game we played from 1981, that was definitely repetitive, right? And you did have to know when to jump, when the barrels were coming. In that first level that you played it a couple times, you kind of got the gist of it.
But a lot of that is still like randomized. So what you're doing is you're learning techniques for how to deal with that randomization, and you are sort of like reacting, and you're using techniques to hit your bets.
Okay.
So like you are kind of making decisions there. Same thing with games like Pac-Man, kind of games like Galaga, because there's some random elements. Then you look at more like arcade games in the 90s, like Metal Slug. So Metal Slug is a side-scroller platformer like this. Bullets, guns, jumping. And it's the same kind of thing. Like, a guy would appear on the right side of the screen, and he's already shooting you, and you have very little time to, jump and dodge the bullet or dodge him or whatever. Those games aren't randomized. Like, the only variable is, like, the way you repeat to it, right? But if you do the exact same inputs, you get the exact same results. That's not true of Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, whatever. Well, it might be true of Pac-Man, because Pac-Man works very specific.
All right, and then what about today's games? Isn't they the same kind of?
So here's the thing. Like, they started with stuff like Donkey Kong and that sort of like random elements, because then you deal with the randomization. But people got good at those games. Like, there is this concept in Donkey Kong and Pac-Man of a kill screen.
What's that?
So, you remember how I said those games loop?
Yeah.
So every time it loops, it ticks the number up, and it's like, it's level 2, it's level 3, it's loop whatever. Yeah. There is only so much physical computer memory to keep track of that number. So usually around level 255, it is using all of the memory. Okay. And so if you loop it again and go to 256, the game breaks. You kill the game by looping too many times. Okay. Because it literally memory overflows and corrupts, and the game dies.
All right.
And the reason we call it a kill screen, that is a sort of like agreed upon term for it, because people got so good that became like a thing people needed a term for. It was happening enough, right?
Okay. Sorry.
So that kind of became a thing. Like the people who could do that, you know, few and far in between. But I think part of what happened is moving into. Jeez.
Sorry.
Is that still connected and good?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay.
What we got out of that was fancier game did two things. One, they started leaning more into the skill is memorization. And two, they started leaning into their sort of finite. Metal Slug ends. You know, eSWAT ends. A lot of games, they're closer to this. Like, you go through the levels, and eventually you beat the game.
Okay.
There's a thank you for playing screen. You reach the end of it. And not just from destroying the memory. And the reason those leaned on, like, they leaned into memorization. Because in order to gain the understanding of what you needed to, like, memorize ahead of time, you usually had to get to a point where you hadn't memorized it anymore and die a couple of times until you memorize the next bit. Ghosts and Goblins is sort of the what do you call it? The sort of epitome of this idea. That game is brutally unfair. Like, but that is a game where eventually you learn to beat that game after you've died to everything in the game 3 times, you know?
Okay.
Or more.
All right.
But the reason why they would want to lean on that is because every third time you died, you put another quarter in. So the game design was based on the payment model.
I thought of that earlier, that's why, you know, it was so difficult to go up, because 3 lives, I mean, I would have spent $1.50 in that, you know, half hour I played, you know, I mean.
Well, so sometimes you look at it as like averages, because like, oh, you know, you're sitting here waiting for your laundry to finish, so you go play the arcade game.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, maybe you want to spend $1 to play for, like, you know, 45 minutes or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you work it on averages. But now look at it this way. If the first level has enough bullshit in it that you have to die, you know, maybe 30 times, right? To memorize all of it and be able to get through it on 1 quarter. Well, you know, 30 deaths at 3 lives a quarter, that's 10 quarters. That's 250, you know? So there is this, if we make the first level this hard, anyone who beats the first level, we will have already gotten like 275 out of.
So what happened to the arcades? They just kind of faded away, didn't they? With the newer technology, when everyone got, I don't know, TVs. I mean,
there's
with the handheld, with the Game Boys and stuff.
There's a number of elements to it. First of all, they didn't. That's a large part of that is just like an American thing. They didn't die off everywhere. America just got kind of bored with them. There are cultural elements. There are like socio-ecological elements. Now we're getting into the stuff I do know. This is stuff from my, like, you know, college days. Boy, where do you even answer that question? All right, so looking at it from sort of a game design element, right? When you say, here's the home version of the game, we play a game like this. This game has lives. Every time you spell Kong, you get another life.
Right.
Because if you run out of lives, game over, you start back at the beginning.
Right.
Which isn't even actually true in this game, I don't think. But, you know, that harkens back to the arcade days. And it's like, oh, you gotta... But so, you know, they changed it. So it's like, you need to keep getting more lives. But you're not paying us. But there's this other challenge. So it's like, you got to be good to keep the lives to keep going. And that's where they started having to adjust. Because, like, because you weren't...
popping the quarters in?
Yeah, because you only paid once. You don't really need to be, like, dying all the time. Just to keep...
Because I was going to say, I mean, the amount you pay for a video game is more than, you know, you probably spend in an arcade. over time.
But
I
the
mean,
amount that
unless
you would spend over time to get good enough to beat it
Yeah.
by dying, you know, how many quarters did I pump into machines like when we went to bowling alleys? I spent more money on the arcades than I
That's
did
true.
on the bowling shoe rental, you know?
That's true. Yeah,
So over time of playing a single game long enough, like absolutely, you could spend at least that much money. So
guess,
they
yeah.
said, hey, here's that amount up front. But then it became the thing where it's like, well, you know, we don't have to do such, you know, bull crap anymore because we're not draining quarters out of you. So it's just like, we don't need to reset you every so often. And, you know, the ability for games to like have memory and save your game and all of that. Or like Mega Man had passwords. That was the thing. You write down your password, you keep going from there next time you boot it up.
Okay.
But that's the thing. Like, so it sort of became like, so, but a lot of these, like even Mega Man, like if I'm good at Mega Man now, it's because I spent a lot of time dying on those levels and memorizing what was coming next. Like those levels just live in my brain now instead of like, you know, how to do CPR or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I have useful information instead.
Yeah.
No, it's a joke.
All right. So let's take a. I just want to ask Joe to go tell Daddy to order pizza,
Okay,
and I don't know what else you want.
she got it.
Okay.
I mean, I know what I want. I imagine we'll get a Discord message in a minute.
Okay.
And we'll deal with it over that.
Yeah. I mean, I just want pizza. Unless you want wings or a sandwich.
I want wings and a chicken parm. Barbecue wings. Okay.
There you go.
Handled.
Easy.
Where was I at? Home consoles. So yeah, so the game design kind of changed because like the bullshit of arcades didn't make sense because that payment structure wasn't there anymore.
Right.
So games started to evolve where like, you know, by the time you get to the end of this game, you might have like 60 lives and it becomes a non-issue anymore. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You could have that many lives, huh?
If you
Okay.
as you start getting good at it. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like even in
So would this game kind of ever end, or no?
this game ends. This game has an ending point.
It does. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of these games do.
Not a kill screen.
No,
Just an ending. Okay.
thank you for playing. You beat the final boss.
Okay.
But like, yeah, so like game design changed around that because it's like you're not pumping quarters in, and like people didn't. A lot of those home games that are bad are the ones still in that mindset of arcades of just like there's going to be bullshit, and the only thing we ask of you is die enough to memorize in order to be able to basically beat it before it appears.
Okay.
And those games, like, I don't like those games. There's still something to be said about those games. Like, kind of like we were just saying with Donkey Kong. There is a challenge there to overcome, but I don't have fun exercising that skill of memorization.
Well, you know, there's also the fact that certain games appeal to different people. Now, there's someone who really might love this game.
A lot of
You
people
know,
love this game. And it got
you know,
multiple
and-
sequels.
And I don't like these platform games, I guess you call them, because of the jumping and stuff. I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
I do like driving games, even though I'm not much better at them, but I think I like those better, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I guess it depends on what you really like too, you know. So, all right. So you want to finish this level and see where it takes us?
Yeah.
Was this the iconic screen you were talking about?
No.
I
So
do like the tires in this one. That was a good bounce element to, you know, to get you to.
do you remember in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom where they have that big scene where they're going down the minecarts
Yes.
and down the minecart tracks? They basically put a level that is that into this game,
Oh, did
and
they?
that is the kind of iconic piece. I forget how far in that is though. It's not that far in because it actually occurs multiple times. There's also just the way that I play these games where I like to rush.
Much more visually appealing to the eye than the originals, than the first three.
Yes.
There's much more graphics, the design, the detail is there. I do like that. Oh, this is cool.
And now
I
we're in
kind of
order.
remember this.
But so like, you know, I'm saying all of this so to go back and talk about like Mario World again. A thing that to me is a big difference is in Mario World, which is same console, same developer. Well, no, this was Rare, but you know, still Nintendo, same amount of power, same cartridge, same controls, all of that.
Ooh.
Dang it. That is a much better game, and I think part of it is because it has smaller sprites. And there's just like more to see on the screen. And more time to deal with stuff. You can see more going on, and you can like sort of, have a better sense of what's going on and plan better. And a lot of the times the challenge is not that challenge of memorization, right? It is almost more puzzle based. It is like, hey, you're going to see the problem in front of you, and you're going to have time to look at it and go like, hey, how am I supposed to deal with this problem? And like come up with a plan and execute the solution rather than just die to something and then try and memorize it for next time, I think that's, and also like gimmicks, like
I like this level.
yeah, this is pretty good. But like this
Maybe
game,
because it's slower or something. I don't know.
yeah, but the way the physics are is this is a pain in the butt. It's so floaty. Don't care. Yeah, like this is, you're going to go from left to right, and there's going to be stuff that you jump on, but like it is, the environments change, and you have these little gimmicks, like, but like the tires are going to reoccur, the ropes are going to reoccur, the enemies are going to reoccur, the water's going to reoccur. Like, we have seen almost everything in this game, except for the minecart.
Okay.
From everything I've seen, and I've put, as much as I don't like this game, I have put a lot of time into it over the years just because I felt obligated.
Okay.
But like,
and you can't jump ahead to a level, can you?
Nope. But we can go talk to Funky Kong. Oh, dudes, the name's Funky Kong. My bodacious jumble barrel can launch you to any point on the island. Most unfortunately, can only send you to a place you've already been to. Ow, that really hurts my throat. But yeah, this is like fast travel.
Okay.
Everybody loves Funky Kong. Funky Kong is a recurring. When we were watching the movie, Funky Kong was on one of the posters in the Donkey Kong area.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Funky Kong was in the Mario movie. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
The movie was really good. I did like the movie. You said it felt a little
hollow.
Hollow.
It was fun.
So, not as a true gamer,
don't say that. Don't suggest I'm a true gamer.
So not as a frequent gamer. I did recognize some aspects of it from the games, right? Not everything, but I did recognize some. I was looking for more comparisons to the movie I'm familiar with, but yeah, I thought it was a good movie. I got a lot of the references. And I thought it was fun. It was just a fun afternoon to watch a movie. You know?
It was.
And I would watch it again, definitely.
Do I get it? We're doing this? Hey, nope. Still not that. All right, I don't care anymore. Bouncy.
I mean, just like with the Sonic movies, too. They're really very good, too.
The Sonic movies were good, yeah.
Different system, right?
Yeah, that was Genesis. That was the competitor to this system.
Yeah.
That one had blast
movies
processing.
are good, too. I don't know. With playing the games and seeing the movie, I thought it worked out really well. Sometimes that's hard to do. Oh, that's a cool thing, shooting out of a barrel.
Yeah. It's kind of like a roller coaster ride.
Cool.
Dang it!
Are you supposed to hit the one with the stars?
Uh-huh. All right, one more. We don't need to see the what do you call it, but the barrel. Yeah, like this game. It's weird. It's trying to be like a mix between like a challenge and a roller coaster ride, but imagine a roller coaster, but you had to steer it yourself. Imagine a roller coaster you could lose at. I don't want to think about that. Banana. Okay. It is fun. And like that's the thing. When you're a kid and this is the only game you have, like practicing this and getting good at it, yeah, that's you'll practice the heck out of this game when it's the only game you got, right? But like in a world where I get to like, you know, decide which game I want to put my time into, which game I can have more fun with, it's just not this one, you know? Maybe I'm just a stickler. Maybe I am an old coot. Maybe I'm a young coot. Who knows? I'm extremely likely some kind of coot. That's all I know. Edit. 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 See what I mean about roller coaster ride? Come on.
Now you can't. You kind of have to wait for them to line up. You have no control over that, right?
Yep. I've had enough Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. That's okay. We have one more. So this was SNES, and like, this game is basically, you know, became like the template for Donkey Kong games going forward. So like, you know, this is the Donkey Kong we saw in the movie with the tie and the brown
Right,
and
right.
the brown. Yeah, it's helpful.
With a bit of an attitude. Yeah.
Yeah, Diddy was there. Cranky was there.
Diddy was there?
Diddy was there. Here, I believe I have to go all the way over to...
They did
this?
shove a lot of stuff into that one little movie.
It really did.
They did.
Oh, cool. There it is.
So, was it hard to track down these various games?
No.
As for the Wii?
Yes, so this is for the... Get out of here, bugs. This is for the Wii.
Now we could talk about the Wii because they have different elements in it too, right?
Yeah.
The system itself. I mean, I like how the handhelds are.
Hang on. I'm trying to remember how to do this. There's a... If I don't do that, can we... Yeah, let's just do
There
that.
you go.
Okay, because now I want to look at this, I want to look at this, I want to look at this, and I want to grab this one? Is it going to be that one? Yeah, it's that one. All right. This is Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii.
For the Wii, okay.
You know the Wii. We've played the Wii on these streams.
Yes, we have.
Boom Blocks is an excellent game.
It is. It is. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day.
So was I. Why aren't we just playing Boom Blocks for 6 hours, you know? I feel like we've messed up.
Oh, now this is interesting.
So this is Donkey Kong Country Returns. Like I said, they decided Country was basically the template for Donkey Kong games going forward. So we are very far from the original Donkey Kong.
Absolutely.
But this is... So what was it? The SNES was followed by the N64, was followed by the GameCube, was followed by the Wii. So this is like 4 generations later.
Wow.
Boy, what buttons do I have set up for this? Any? It's a great question. Perhaps these. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Like, I don't know if this one has lives in it. Whoa, I hit something. You? Did I break it? Okay.
What's two? What's two?
I don't know what 2 is. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. No, yeah. What are we looking at? Yes. Oh, you know what? I can put it back on this. Good. We're going to do, A, B, 1,
The background's got so
2,
much nicer.
start, select, and up, down, left, right. Let's try that. Hello? Okay. Okay, it inputted. Okay, we got something. Okay.
New game?
New game. That's the word. I don't know if I'm hungry or what, but yeah, I know. All right, let's do a new game. So we started Donkey
Alright,
Kong.
so, first of all, let's just talk beautiful graphics.
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean, eons from where we first started with the pixels. I mean, this is just fantastic to look at.
Yeah, they made these look...
I mean, I feel like I'm actually at the beach.
Uh-huh.
You know?
We just need the sea salt breeze, right?
Yeah. And maybe a pina colada.
Maybe.
So now the Wii is different because of the control. I like the controls in the Wii.
The Wii had the motion controls, yes.
Yes.
So, this game has some elements of you got to shake the controller. You can still play it sideways, so like the SNES controller,
Right.
which is how it feels we are playing it right now.
Right.
How it understands us to be playing it. We have story cutscenes. Now we get to hear what's going on.
Which is a very nice feature to video games. I like that.
Yeah, there's this element of like...
Because at times it's more like you're watching a movie than playing the game.
Yeah. I mean, after all the Yakuza we've played, definitely.
Yeah.
I haven't finished that that period piece one yet. But there's also an element of like... and this just starts talking about art. That's where we're at. Let's talk about art for a minute.
Absolutely.
The idea of something that helps a piece of media is to give it context, right? So, like, you look at Pac-Man and you're like, I'm a yellow dot being chased by ghosts. That's weird. And so it's like, it's kind of hard to get into that. But you get into something like Frogger. I'm a frog crossing a road. Like, okay, there's a story there. I can understand this.
Oh, look at him. How nice he looks there.
There's Diddy Kong. I like how his hat is Nintendo branded.
Yeah.
So Nintendo exists within the Donkey Kong universe, I guess. Kong. There's the boy.
There he is. He's pissed.
But, like, you know, you add a bit of story like this, and, like, sometimes, you know, arcade games would have it. Like, an arcade game might give you the story context, like, on the demo screen.
It's not working on him.
Uh-huh. NES games love to give the context, like, in the manual. You would have to read what the backstory is, because the game does nothing. Probably. He's just, hello.
His home got upgraded.
Oh, I don't have that button. I can't shake the cigar box. Hang on. Give me, can I have a shaky, please? Shake, yes.
Shake.
Right? Let's do that. Okay.
Shaky. So that's
There we go.
With the Wii, then you would do.
Yeah,
this,
it wants you to
yeah,
actually
yeah,
shake the
yeah,
remote around. There you go.
Which is now you're starting to get more interactive.
Yeah, the I mean, that was a big thing that the Wii did, was like naturalistic controls. There you go. So like again, the tires are back. The idea of
Much bigger too.
you're at your house and your house has one extra life in it at the beginning. Like these are things we just saw, and so here's this game. You know, however many years later. So like, okay, down and what?
Well,
Wait, why can't I do that? Ooh,
I think you
that's cute.
want, when there's so many years between games, I think you want people to remember some of the elements from previous games, I think.
Mm-hmm. But like it's kind of unnecessary because like we're on a whole new platform. We have new tools. We have new technology. Like the only reason it's there is to like call you back to, you know, it's the thing I was saying about the Mario movie, right? Is that there's so much stuff that is there just to remind people of the, you know, of the original thing that they enjoyed.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like you could do something new. And this game does something new, right? Like it's using the new tools available to it with the slappy, like here, breaking the boxes and stuff. That's new. That's new mechanics. It does interesting thing with enemies here.
Yeah, but I think some of the familiar, like you said, brings you back in. Oh yeah, I remember playing Donkey Kong. I like that game, you know, and you'll give it a shot. But then the new stuff, it says, you know, I never liked that game, but let me give this one a go.
Yeah. So
I mean, again, you know, you're appealing to a very wide audience, and you want to try to get as many people interested as possible, you know.
There's a thing from an episode of Mystery Science Theater, right? They're watching the movie Overdrawn at the Memory Bank. Okay.
Yeah.
What the? Oh, hello. See, this is fun. This is novel. And the thing about Overdrawn at the Memory Bank is, first of all, it's got Raul Julia, who is just a treasure. He is sorely missed. But whoa!
See,
I solved it.
He played Gomez Adams.
He was the original Gomez Adams. He was M. Bison in the Street Fighter movie. And he was, oh god, what was his name in Overdrawn at the Memory Bank? I'm stuck on Apollonia Jones because that is a solid name. Aram Fingal. That's right. God, hell of a name. That's this button? Yeah. Hey, now Diddy Kong's here, and Diddy Kong has a jetpack again. Who gave it to him? Did he build it? Does he have access to tools to do that? Things that Nintendo refuses to explain. But the thing about Overdrawn to Memory Bank is basically that entire movie is a reference to
Yeah, I like that.
There's a reference in there to the movie Casablanca, right?
Yeah.
Like he is basically stuck in his own fantasy and like his own world inside of his head, and the fantasy world that he creates is just like the movie Casablanca. The scenes, the sets, the characters, they're off-brand. Peter Lorre is in there. And the thing that they say in MST is like, hey, don't remind people of a better movie in your movie, you know? It's just
right.
like, because like there's a thing there. It's like, by doing something like that, like how much are you, you know, if you are like putting references to this well-loved thing in there, is that just a sign that you don't trust the quality of this new thing that you've made? Or like, are you trying to ride their coattails? Or like, do you have nothing interesting of your own to say? Like, there's ways that doing that can be a sign of like things going badly. Doesn't mean it is going badly, doesn't mean any of those things are true, but it's just like, you know, have faith in your own thing. Like, if you're not doing something that
Original.
if you're not doing something important enough to let it stand on its own, then why are you doing it? And I bet there's answers, but I can't think of any, you know? There's something to be said for like iteration on a theme. Like sometimes I get that with like remakes. Like if you told me that this was like a replacement for the original Donkey Kong Country, if you said, hey, we're going to redo that game, we're going to do it better, we're going to do it modern. They do that with a lot of games. It's like, oh boy, what is a good example of that? I was about to say what game has been remade, but the answer is like all of them.
Well, oh boy, all the
Oh, Yakuza games. That's a pretty good example of it. So like Yakuza Kiwami and Kiwami 2. Those were remakes of the original 2 games. And they do some new stuff, yeah, but really what they are doing is they are polishing the experience of the original, right? It is like, now that this exists, you don't need to go back to the original. They did a very good job. And like, it is hard to go back to those original ones just from like, you know, improvement in design ideas.
Saw the originals, but I gotta tell you, playing those games,
they're rough.
I didn't play, I watched.
Right.
I watched those games, and it was like a soap opera. I got so involved in it that I would dream about it, and we would have long discussions about it. Like,
right.
You know, what was going to happen next? Why did this take place? What do you think happened to that character? It was great. It was great.
So, like, all of that stuff was there in the original.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's the little quality of life things, like being able to save anywhere instead of having to go to a payphone, being able to like skip cutscenes. The visual fidelity went up. They actually look like they have a face instead of wearing like some sort of paper mache human-esque mask.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, no, the figures are great. They aged well.
Yeah.
Each one was like, you know, a couple years in the future, and they all aged well.
Through the games, but just talking about like 1-to-1 Kiwami, right? It's just like, oh, PS2 graphics up to 360. No, PS4 graphics, I guess. Like that is, you know, 20 years better technology and design text.
Yeah.
Let's play one more level of this, because I actually haven't played a lot of this, and there is a version of this where like
this I'm actually enjoying.
Yeah, like
there's a lot going on. There are some new things in here. There's some old ones, but there's some new ones.
But like that, like this is kind of what I was saying. Like I think this is a game that like, compare the size of these sprites to the size of the screen, and that ratio to the original Donkey Kong Country.
Gotcha.
That's the kind of thing that I look at. Mm-hmm. Like, just looking by the ratio of stuff on the screen, I'm like, oh, there are, like, smart thoughts about what makes a game good, not just, like...
And again, I think you do that just by, you know, coming out with the first game and then listening to the people who are playing it.
Mm-hmm.
What would, you know, like... the observation that there's not enough time to, you know, to attack this guy before you get killed, or, you know, to make your move or whatever. So yeah. No, and then just not only that, but then technology got so much better too.
Like there's
they were able to make them smaller with the same amount of detail.
Yeah. But like there's an element of...
I mean, like one of those games where he was shooting them with the aerosol cans.
Yeah.
You couldn't even tell what that guy was at the bottom.
Yeah.
You didn't know if it was Mario or what he was.
But you knew he was a guy. You knew he was moving.
Right,
you could tell he was using the like bug spray or like...
Right. But,
you can still...
here, you could see everything, you know?
That's art again, right? Mm-hmm. It is communicating, even if it's not...
Such a big part of it. People don't realize that, but such a big part of it. Being
able to communicate ideas is the important part, not being able to be graphically... high graphical fidelity or whatever, right? So, but like looking, like when I look at that old one, I'm like, oh, they were trying to showcase how fancy they were being. They weren't trying to make a good game. And then you look at this, and you look at like just like some of the ideas around it, with like even just that first level there, like there was some like novel things to do there, in terms of like, oh, we're going to jump into the background and we're going to do this, and we're, you know, going to have these little story segments. And there's like a lot going on there that I look at and I go, oh, they were trying to make like a fun game. This is a game that is basically, you know, the same verbs, you know, run, jump, barrel. Barrel's a verb. Barrel is a verb. You can barrel into somebody.
What is that thing on the ground that looks like a garlic? Can you jump on that, or does that kill you?
Can we blow on it? Can't blow on it. Can we slap it? We can slap it, and a coin comes out. But exactly, like there, you just discovered something. That was something interesting to do in here, right? Mm-hmm. So like this one looks to me, it's like, yeah, they are sort of calling back to. Whoops, it's very much a Donkey Kong Country game still, though. But like,
yes,
it can be little. That's why the balloons are your extra lives, because you like they're explaining it like. it's those things which like this feels like we were following. This is when they finally were like, we are making something in the Donkey Kong Country lineage, but they finally made a good game. And like I never really played this because I did have that that distaste of Donkey Kong Country, but like, hey, if the game's good, the game's good. It kind of, you know, sometimes you have to be willing to say like, all right, let's judge this on its own. Like, I mean, yeah, if you want to go back to it, the fact that Donkey Kong Country was nothing like that original Donkey Kong, you could be like, oh man, this game is nonsense. This ain't no Donkey Kong. Like, yeah, it's a good game on its own though. You can still enjoy it for what it is. It's more important to enjoy something for what it is than to rip on a game for something it isn't. And you know, games, movies, whatever. Oh, we do still have the roll. Can we do this? There we go. Hey. But you see, like, this is like fun little mini sections, and like a lot of this stuff was in that game, but like, I don't know, this is cool, this is fun, this looks interesting, this is fun to discover instead of just, it is fun to engage with instead of just being there. You know? Like, maybe that's me, maybe I'm definitely extremely picky, but like, these are things to look at. If we were like, so these games have a 2-player mode, and like if we were to like, you know, decide to keep playing these games, I would absolutely say let's play this one instead of the SNES one, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd like to play this on the actual Wii.
Oh yeah. I could look into making that happen. Let me get back to you on that. Make a note. Ow. Ah! See, like, even with this, like, there's a lot going on and there's a lot to get tripped up by, but it's not surprising you. It is there. You can kind of, if you're not rushing, you can sort of take it in and deal with it. Man, all right, maybe this is pretty fun.
Ooh. Now that was a surprise.
There's still a little bit of that, you know, the best cure is prevention, and you know, where you get into like, oh, if I just memorize where all the dangers are, then I can skip them like preemptively next time. There's still an element of that in video games, but you know what? It's fine. It is they have managed to make it like you rely less on those concepts, you know. Okay. Why does he have a jetpack? Someone explain to me. Funky Kong made it? Alright, Funky Kong made it. Well, asked and answered, I suppose. Can't be mad about that. My back is to chat, I ain't gonna lie. As usual, my back is to chat. Yeah, this is neat. Oh, please don't eat us. Okay. Now I'm just into this, because like I said, I don't know from this game. Like, I knew that this existed, and I knew that the premise was, like, this is the next evolution of Donkey Kong Country. But this one I have not spent, like, any time with.
Oh.
Whee! There you go!
Awesome. Awesome.
This is interesting. This is like it's funny going from like Donkey Kong to Donkey Kong Country. Like, there's some fun there in like, oh, what happened to Donkey Kong Jr.? Did he go off to Vietnam? I don't know. I don't know if that works out with the chronology, but watching the development of like the Country series in itself is kind of fun to see how far they've come, because like this is a game like, I don't know, it's neat.
It is neat. It is neat. Yeah.
And like definitely when you
I did enjoy the first game, to be honest with you, because that's my skill level, you know.
Yeah.
And even at that, I died so many times I never got past level, you know, the 3rd ladder or something. But that was easy, you know. This is nice too. I enjoyed watching this one. So yeah, no, there's something to be said about them. Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of like what I was saying, right? Like, we had the original Donkey Kong, which was an arcade game, and it was like, hey, get good at this. That is your challenge. Then we had Donkey Kong Country, which was still sort of like built like, you know, a bad age of arcade games. It's just like, hey, die and give us quarters until you
the first three games
until
was
you
pretty much
memorize
that way.
this.
Yeah.
But also we're not taking quarters, so just die a lot. I don't like those games because the answer is just like, hey, getting good at this game means dying a lot. And I'm like, I don't like dying. That's not fun to me. But then they develop it and they're like, hey, here's some interesting stuff to do and see, and you're not just memorizing stuff. Now you can have fun with it. It is, you know, now that I look at it, it is like an interesting, just like evolution of game design through a single series, I guess.
It amazes me, yeah. As much as video games have been a part of our lives, I've never really. I like seeing the history of it, you know.
Yeah.
I like when we watched. There was a documentary on it with starting with Pong and how that got started, and you know, it's just fascinating to see the progression and how it came along, you know. I haven't seen the Tetris movie yet. About how
I was
Tetris
about to say, I haven't seen it either. Are we gonna watch that?
It's streaming
somewhere.
I would like to. Yeah. So.
But they don't explain the history of the L block. The Z block isn't even appearing.
Really?
I don't know. It's about like the deals made behind getting the game
to come over here.
like
was it
produced
made in Russia or something, or
it was developed. The concept was by Russian.
Yeah, I think that's one.
That's the one. Thank you, Alexei P name. I don't know if this is apocryphal, but the idea being it was kind of designed as a tool to help mailmen practice at fitting as many boxes into the truck as possible.
That's great.
I don't know if that's in any way true, but like, yeah, like.
And I was gonna say, don't we say who's gonna play Tetris putting the food away tonight after dinner, right? When we after a big shopping. Who's gonna play Tetris? Yeah, it's about fitting it in all, and oh my gosh,
it is a game that trains your spatial sensibilities.
I like games like that. I do like puzzle
Me
games
too.
like that. Yeah.
Speaking of things we like,
yes, go ahead.
I like taking a break.
Yes, I was gonna say before we do though, just again talk about that joystick because that was really cool. I don't know if anyone's listening, but it's just a really cool thing.
This is our
the joystick we've been using.
Yeah, this is the simple one that we made. So it's made out of an old cigar box. I don't know if you can read that. I don't know. Yeah, no, that way's right. It's made out of an old cigar box. It still opens. This is my dad likes to make stuff, so the little USB controller up there is doing all the work. These are just like arcade parts that we had. It's cute. It's nice. It only has 8 buttons. The standard is kind of 10 to 12 these days.
But that's what Nick's been playing these games with. So yeah, very cool. And I think it's time for a donation zone.
That's at the top of the hour.
Okay. Well.
Or top of the segment.
Okay.
So yes, hey, if you're watching, hey, thank you for hanging out again. Visit the link on the screen down there somewhere to learn about what we're raising money for, Alzheimer's Foundation. Donate, tell your friends, whatever. We'll do a bigger. We'll go to a donation zone at the top of the next block after we take a 15-minute or so break. Food isn't here yet, is it? No.
I don't know. Joe's the food here yet?
Okay, so we'll have to see when dinner's going to come. You know, if we eat during Jackbox, I don't think that'll be an issue.
No, because you're really not on screen that much, right?
Yeah. And hey, that's the thing. If you're here, we're planning on doing some Jackbox next. So get your second screen devices ready and tell your friends because we could probably use some more people hanging out to play that. All right. So stick around. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll be back in 10 and 10. 7 and 7. Ooh, no.
About 15 minutes.
Yeah, we'll be back in a handful of minutes. So stick around.
I like that, a handful of minutes.